Hey everybody, Dave Basulto here for iOgrapher, and today we're going to talk about how to make a really cool time lapse using your iPad mini, the iOgrapher, a wide angle lens, and a really cool tripod like the Gorilla Pod Mini. And this one's really fun. It's I think $30–40 on Amazon, but it's worth its weight in gold because you can tie things around with the iOgrapher on it, making cool stuff. So let's get right into it. So recently I was asked to create a kind of a time lapse for our graduation. I thought it'd be fun to do, something the kids would really value. We'd throw some mushy stuff in there and do a great job. Of course, we wanted to use our iOgraphers and our iPad minis, so we need to find the perfect app to do it. And we believe we did. So let's take a look at some of the video that we did. We had it stationed from a nice vantage point to the left of the stage. And let's just listen for a few minutes. It's about 2 minutes long, and I'll post the full one up on a link if you want to watch it. And let's take a look.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
So I'll pause it there. So it was about an hour-long event, lots of speeches, lots of crying, and we really combined the entire essence into about 2-minute movie. And of course you have to add the standard Green Day on top, so it can make it really even more mushy. But how fun it is for the kids to have something like this and really look back on their high school years. I wish it was something that we had in our day, but of course I lived in the Stone Age. So let's take a look at what app we found. We really searched around to find the right app that we wanted to use, and I came across something called Timelapse Studio Pro. And I had actually downloaded it a long time ago and never used it. I had read a review on it somewhere. I thought, okay, I'll try it out. And I never used it. So it was just sitting on my iPad. I started playing around with it, and I saw, wow, this is really powerful, easy to use, and gave a great image. One of the cool things is, as you can see down here, it says there's a feature pack, and we'll look and see what that entails. But not only can you do just a simple time lapse, you can put it up on top and do a tilt shift time lapse if you want. You can add movie effects, some slight coloring, and I'll show you how to do that. Also, what I didn't know it had was a remote camera that I could have operated from my iPad, or from my iPhone, I should say, and let one of the kids, instead of having them have to use that, I could have freed up one person to go do something else. But, you know, you live and learn. So now I know I can use my iPhone as a controller to control my iPad to shoot these tilt shifts. So it's pretty cool. So let's take a look at how we use this great app. Okay, so we are now in Timelapse, and let's just restart it so you can see the whole thing. Looks like this, Timelapse Studio Pro HD. And now I want to start a new project. So I'm going to press the plus button right here. And that's the welcome screen. And it keeps giving you these tap here to have some pictures. So in case you ever forget how to use it, it's got lots of hints all over the place. So this is just a little thing for my backyard window where I'm recording this right now. I'll move over my iPad a little better, get a little bit better view. And I can double tap the screen to pick places that I want to focus on if I want, you know. Maybe this chair right here is something interesting, so I can do stuff like that. And then I go over here on the right side where the camera says tap to add some pictures. Now this is where you can do some fun stuff. So I took one photo, but let me just hold it down for a second. Now it's letting me import images. So let's say I have maybe an intro I want to put in there, or anything, other photos or a logo or something like that. I can import that into my frames and into my movie that I'm making and have it in there. So that's a really cool feature. Camera just means the camera. Remote camera means I'll be using my iPhone or other iPad to use the remote camera. And tilt shift is really fun, and I'll be doing some tilt shift tutorials, because this is not the only app for tilt shift, but the fact that it has it in there is very, very cool. So once I'm done with that and I've chosen what I want to do, I'm going to tap out of that. Underneath it here, I can click on that, and it's letting me see up on top I'm on autofocus, which side of the camera I want to use, and the left up on top it shows me that music symbol. It's whether or not I want audio to be live. So I can mute that out by simply touching it. And now it's sound disabled, and we'll put it back. And then that's it. And the next easy part is this little stopwatch down below on the right. So right now we're in manual mode, where you just sit there tapping pictures away, but who really wants to do that? I'm going to click on the little stopwatch. And now I've got all these different options to do. My intervals, when I want to start it, I can choose that and pick different times. For example, we started last night at 10 minutes to 7. The event started at 7, so we wanted to go a little early. So you can actually click on that, and it'll bring up what day you want to have it on. So you can have this all set up outside. Maybe you want to have it go through the night and watch the stars, or whatever you want to do. You can completely configure that and pick the time and everything. Once you're done with what time you want to start it at, you're going to want to select the thing on top right here and slide it over. And now that means that that's live. It's going to start recording at that time, and it's good to go. So we'll leave that alone for now. We'll let it pretend that we're going to shoot. Go back to configuration. So now I see that my start time is off, my end time is off, etc., etc. And I can go down. Do I want to auto stop on so many frames? Maybe I only want 600 frames. Maybe I want to do. Maybe I'm doing 30 frames per second, and so I want like a 2-second, 2-minute video. So I'm going to do 600 frames. So I can do all that. Also, if the battery level's dying, you don't want to miss all the work you did. It'll turn itself off automatically. And then there's also the time-lapse calculator down here. That was an add-on, so you can click on that, and it really walks you through the different types. Like if you want to shoot at 24 frames. It's funny because a lot of apps are 25 frames per second, and they always have it there. So I'm wondering, are a lot of app makers in European areas, so because that's the standard for European, 25 frames per second. But we digress. I can change the intervals, the duration, the clip length. It calculates everything for you. Now I go down. The last thing is whether or not I want to store my coordinates. So I can actually have this app will tell us exactly where we shot all this stuff, every bit of information you want. So great meta stuff there for you. Let's click out of that. And then that's it. So now if I wanted to start clicking, I can turn this little slider next to the stopwatch to the right. And it's starting to time. And you should see it go 3, 2, 1, or let's see, 0. So there's 1 frame. 3, 2, 1, there's another frame. So it's going at the default speed right now. It's starting to crank out frames. And that's it. And then when I want to stop it, I just have to go back here and slide it back over. And there, it's disabled. And that's really as simple as it is. Next to it here is a little menu, and we'll take a look at it. It's just more of a, do I want to loop this? Do I want to play it at half speed? Play last frame? So it gives you some other options there as well. We'll click out of that. And then lastly, something, if I want to do something, I can click on one of the frames, double click on it, and now if I slide it over to the front, Maybe I want some kind of a movie look on it, and it comes shipping with several movie looks. So let's double click. Oops. Let's double click. Once I double click on it, I'm going to go back to the camera that's now pink and click on that one time. And now it's bringing up movie effects. So I can actually, in this app, color it to have some different fun stuff. So maybe I want to do, I can scroll through it a little bit. This really strange little HDR looking thing. This one's a little more green. I can blow it out like that. Infrared. Really crazy, sketchy stuff. So that's kind of fun. There's a black and white one I can do as well. So we'll click out of that and double click to get back. And there we are. And now to see what we shot, I just have to press the play button and it'll start looping through. And there's that. So very, very cool, easy to use time-lapse application. And if we go over here to, I forgot a couple things. On the left here, I can go here and click on that and add my timestamp, my location, my map. I can copy it to my camera roll right away, my photo roll. I can click here and add music to it. I don't have any music on this iPad, but I could add music to it if I wanted to. And then a little X here X's it out and takes me back to the welcome screen. And once we're back on the welcome screen, we can now render out our video. And I'll press this play button here. And since I already rendered it earlier, it's letting me do this now. So I can watch it. I can also, if you see the icon down here, we can send it up to Apple TV if we wanted to. Let's get it out of there. I can press the middle button here to save it to my camera roll, which you probably want to do so that you can do other things with it. You can, from that point on, let's just do that for a second. I can send it out as a smaller file or an HD 720p. Okay. I can also send it to my email if it's small enough, YouTube, Facebook, and iTunes. So I've got a lot of opportunities to send it to different places. Lastly, if I click to the right here, it takes me over to the Timelapse Studio YouTube page where I can watch other people's time lapses if I have so much time on my hands. And we'll click out of that. And that's it. One cool feature as well I want to mention here is to the left, the little question mark. If you just click on it, every single thing you could possibly want to know is on here. Even more apps that they use. And if I click on the help button here, it really goes into all the different how to use it, and then of course the feature pack. You know, what to do, how do I begin? That's that one. Let me find the feature pack for you. Second one. Whoop. Here it is. So the feature packs tell me how to do the capture source, where to download the remote camera, and actually a link. All the different movie effects, the calculator, tilt shift, and how location works. So it's a great app. I highly recommend it. Use it with your iOgrapher Mini and the Gorilla Pod. We really dig it here at iOgrapher.com. And I'm Dave Basulto, looking forward to seeing what you create with your iOgrapher and the various apps out there. Thanks for watching. Visit us at iOgrapher.com.